can't even... Just... Go on. Start the review without me. Welcome to my review of The Cat in the Fucking Hat. I don't know where to begin with this one. So, the basic plot of The Cat in the Hat is that it's based off of the Dr Seuss novel, which is critically acclaimed. In this film we see mother of two, Joan Walden, who works for this hand sanitizer company, is having a party, but she has to go to work and leave her children unattended with the babysitter, Mrs. Kwan, and a giant talking cat comes over and tries to give the children a day of fun, but the plot is expanded. The mother has a boyfriend who wants to ship her son off to military school because he doesn't like him. And then you have the crate. When they start having fun, they open this red crate, which unleashes the mother of all messes. And then the lock gets stuck to the dog's collar, so they have to chase the dog all the way around to get him back, to get the crate locked, and yeah, try and sort out the house. That's it. That's The Cat in the Hat. Ugh. If you thought your childhood was ruined by other Dr Seuss movies, you haven't seen anything yet. The Cat in the Hat is an absolute abominable disgrace. It is a cancer that should never have been plagued. It is a horrible piece of mushroom shit. It completely shits all over the original source material. And bearing in mind that the original source material wasn't very much, there's not much to shit over. I'm all for expansion of plot. I'm all for expansive storytelling if it's going to make sense. If it's going to be something interesting and diverse that will ultimately enhance the story, because some things are more novelic and some things are more filmic. To say that this is a film is really overstretching the mark here. This film is a corporate sham. It's to cash in on the Dr Seuss story, and it's to make it so hip and cool in its modern 2000 age, and it takes an absolute stink on the original source material. I am disgusted. It is disgustingly made, and the direction is absolute crap. I mean, who directed this film? Let me find the DVD. Okay, Bo Welch. No idea who that is. But the film tries to incorporate poor jokes, poor child jokes, poor adult jokes, some borderline adult jokes. It's just completely gag-inducing humour, and it just pisses me the fuck off. Let's talk about the cast, shall we? Shall we? Okay, so Mike Myers is in this film as the cat, and what have you done? This is easily one of the worst performances that Mike Myers has ever given. It is horrible. it is just depressing. It is creepy as fuck. That constant laugh he does, like, no, stop, enough, enough. And he's not the worst of the film, but I mean, he tries to be animated, which I can appreciate the physical performance, but the rest of it was weird. The two kids are actually rather okay. For child actors, they're not too bad. Dakota Fanning and Spencer Breslin as Conrad and Sally, they're fine, they're acceptable. They're nothing groundbreaking, but at least they sort of do an alright job. Getting hot flushes. And you have Kelly Preston as Joan Walden, the mother, who doesn't do much really. It's not really worth talking about her. Then we have Alec Baldwin's character, Lawrence, or Larry, or whatever you want to call him, the boyfriend of the mum. Just no. The whole subplot about him wanting to sending Conrad to the military school, just leave it out. Leave it out. If you're not going to expand the story in a way that will actually enhance like, they try to create this family dynamic between the mother and the son, and there's obviously some dysfunction going on, but it doesn't make sense. The whole thing's completely redundant. Like, that's not... If it was a different story, I'd understand. I mean, for the Cat in the Hat, it's just... The story is so basic, you don't need that. Because in the story of the Cat in the Hat, the book, the mother and son barely interact. At the beginning and at the end. That's fine. That's all you needed. But for this film, they make such a big thing of it. It's like, oh, I'm sending Conrad away. I'm sorry. Just get rid of that fucking subplot. Just go. Oh. And his performance, if you can call it that, is utterly disgraceful. Like, nobody likes a sucker. He's such a prick as well. Like, he plays the character quite well, to be fair, but it's just not right for this film. That's why I don't like it. And when he goes, there are just... The reason why I say this is a corporate shambles is because of the fucking, cash-ins. Like, it's trying to cash in on Dr Seuss, it's trying to cash in on Universal Studios. They, it's used basically as a corporate thing to advertise themselves. It's like, oh, we can do Dr Seuss things, so come to our resort, come to our rides. They actually mention it in the film. There is a moment when they are sliding down the waterfall, and the cat goes, "You mean like Universal Studios? Haha, ka-ching!" The good things. The production design is quite good. I have to admit that some of the sets are quite good, if a little colourful. They are very good. The music score is good. That's really about it. The acting's pretty bad for the most part. Flat as a pancake, apart from the kids. The kids actually do okay compared to the rest of the cast. I do like the fish, he's a good character. The CGI is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. It's like it came out of a pig's ear. I mean, the CGI of today's standards, even back then, for 2003, that was 2003. I mean, the CGI, the CGI could have been way better. It was basically the rough cut. The CGI was so cartoonish. I know that the film is has that cartoony vibe, but at least make the CGI look a bit more believable. you know, oh god, I mean that was the same year that the Lord of the Rings: Return of the King came out, and the CGI was much better there. I'm not asking for an epic grandeur like that, but just give me something more believable, please, please, please. I mean, there is nothing you can say about it, really. I mean, the film, it moves along at a okay pace, I guess. And, you know, the racism elements are fucking horrifying. Just the part when Mrs. Connor's watching TV alone, that in itself causes for a protest. I sincerely think that the filmmakers must have been on crack making this film, because that scene is just offensive, and also the things, the way they do Thing 1 and Thing 2 is just an abomination. I mean, it's, again, it's like a fucking Asian stereotype or something. I mean, you know, I'm perfectly okay with you know, race relations in film. I'm perfectly okay to have a multicultural array of films. I'm perfectly happy with that. But when you approach it in a way that is damn right offensive, that I cannot ignore. The script, you know, what script? It's fucking useless. You know, bravo screenwriters. I mean, I do quite like the costume for Mike Myers, I suppose I could say that. And the songs are just terrible. Like, they have to have, and they even, there's a lot of self-referencing as well, like when they clean up the house, and then the cat says, we even had time to cash in on our favourite pop song. It's like, ugh. I don't know what it is that the filmmakers have lost the plot here. It's just, it's a mess. It's a total mess. Oh, God's sake. I mean, the film is just filler. There's a lot of filler in the story. Like, this would have been better for a theatrical release. You expect something a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem right for a theatrical release. Stick it on TV. Have it as a TV movie. It would have been much better. This film is an absolute mess. It's a corporate shambles. It's an offence. It's racist. It's stereotypical. It's damn right shitting on the source material. It is disgraceful. It's a horrible film. It has, even when it tries to have an ounce of heart, you just don't believe it. It's just very, the vibe you get from it is that it's very fake. The comedy's not funny. You know, Mike Myers isn't funny. The acting is pretty wooden for the most part, bar the kids, who are alright, I guess. And what the fuck was the point of that fucking party? They just go through that telephone box, and then they go on the pole down, and they see like this big rave going on, this big party going on, and they have a moment when the cat looks at this this really fit girl in a bikini, in a children's film. In a fucking children's film. It makes me angry. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the Grinch film. I thought, it's good, but at least it has a heart. I mean, you know, at least it has a sense of morale. It has a sense of, you know, boundaries. This goes completely off the rails. It's a shit fest, it really is. What more can you say about The Cat in the Hat? It is an absolute shit fest. I mean, it's horrible, it's cringe-worthy to watch, and it is probably one of the worst family films ever made. I mean, I can understand young, really young kids liking it, perhaps, maybe, but it is everything you don't want in a film. Again, I mean, you know, I feel the pain. Feel the pain, whoever doesn't like it. It's got a 3.8 out of 10 on IMDb. If that ain't proof enough for you not to watch it, I don't know what is. don't see this movie. Don't see it ever. It's horrible. If you love the book, you're gonna hate this film. It's terrible. And there's like moments of innuendo, just like on the back of the DVD. It says contains mild innuendo and crude humour. This could be a film rated 12, but you know, any more crude humour, you know. You know, I do like the set of the house, but all the other sets look pretty colourful, and it doesn't look like they're in the real world. I mean, I suppose that's partly a good thing, because they want to give you the illusion that this isn't a real universe, but, you know, the mother has a job and everything, so it doesn't look like a huge place that they live in. It doesn't seem like there isn't much of a town where they are. At the end of the day, The Cat in the Hat is an absolute disgrace. It's a horrible film. Also, that mother of all messes scene is terrible. The back projection for 2003 standards is just tripe. I mean, it's on par, if not even worse, than the Die Another Day windsurfing scene. Oh God, I mean, that was cringy enough. That was the line as well I drew at. But The Cat in the Hat, I repulse this film. This film repulses me. And, you know, it's just completely unbelievable. I mean, all of the additions to the story don't make any difference to me. Just, if you absolutely had to make this film, you know, stick it on the TV, because this is horrible shit to the lowest common denominator. It really is. It's something that it's going to make your children really dumb. You know, it's something made for dumb audiences who aren't going to care. They'll be like, oh look, there's a cat. Like people who, if you like cheap humour, if you like depressing performances, if you like overly colourful scenery, you're going to love this film. And if so, fair enough. But don't ask me to watch it again. Because I am going to give this absolute trollop, yep, a 0 out of 10. So yeah, that's it. That's my review of The Cat in the Hat. Never it was to be a review. So that's all I can say. I may consider reviewing The Grinch at some point, maybe before Christmas, but I mean, it's a damn near sight better than this piece of crap. So crap in the Hat, they should call it. And thank God they didn't get to make a sequel, because I know there was a sequel book written called The Cat in the Hat Comes Back, but thank goodness they didn't get to do that. So yeah. So that's it, guys. Thank you all for watching my rant, and thank you all for watching. And as always, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya.